Alright, hello everyone. So today we're going to be talking about the numbers of the LCE banners as well as the event ID, which is going to be this Yi Sang over here. So let's start off with this Yi Sang's passive, right? This Yi Sang, his whole purpose in life is to actually die, right? He's going to die, he's going to inflict Rupture and Rupture count against the targets. If no one attacked this unit or if an ally killed this unit, he will inflict it against the enemy with the least Rupture count. And if the unit is in a very Lear state, he will instead inflict double the Rupture potency. So you will inflict 10 Rupture potency, which is very, very cool, right? And you will also get some additional ego resources, which is why I kind of left mine at level 1. I'm not sure if we are going to be killing this guy immediately so that we will be able to farm a bunch of ego resources for future content. So for now, I just left him at level 1. But there are a lot of good things about this character, right? The defense skill gives you Fairy Lure, and it gives you 3 Fairy Lure, and it stacks up to 5, and it decays by 1, which means that this character can get infinite aggro, basically. You just use this ability here, you get aggro, you get green resonance for Talisman Sinclair, you get this Fairy Lure that makes you take 50% more damage, and when you get hit, you will inflict 1 Rupture against the attacker, and at less than 50% HP, you will inflict 1 additional Rupture. If the target has 15 plus Rupture though, then you will not inflict Rupture. This character looks really spicy already just because of all of this shenanigans with the 15 Rupture and 3 Rupture count. Because this character can feed Rupture potency by getting hit, and this counter skill, by the way, also has a +2 Rupture count, because why not? So it's a +1 Rupture count move. It gives you aggro, it lets you take the hit, it gives you the Fairy Lure status. It's just W skill, alright? The skill 1 and your skill 2 are skills that will let you lose, and you want to lose because when you lose you get final power equal to the number of skills targeting this unit. You also get additional Rupture potency inflicted by the skill +2, and it's unbreakable coins, which means that straight up you will not have to worry about not hitting with this skill. So that +2 there will give you a +2 here, +2 here, total of 6 Rupture. 6 Rupture is very good. Right, 6 Rupture, but you're also getting hit by the opponent because you just lost your clash, which means that you will also inflict your Fairy Lure Rupture potency to the opponent. So I think that this is just a double whammy, just ideal. It's perfectly what Yi Sang wants for this character. Your skill 2 as well is going to be Rupture count +2 and +2 over here. So that's going to be 4 in total if you lose, and you will be able to get your final power here based on the same scaling. And this part over here, right, it will not affect a target with 3 plus Rupture count, but if they have less, then you will still affect them. So if they have 2 Rupture count on themselves, you actually will be able to slap them with a crap ton of Rupture count with this skill here. And remember, Fairy Lure is always on you, so whenever you lose with skill 1 and skill 2, Fairy Lure will always trigger, which is very good. You will inflict potency as well as Rupture count. This character is ideal for dying and ideal for spreading a bunch of potency and count to a bunch of enemies. Very cool. Skill 3 is going to be your cash out skill. So you know how Ninclair has a skill 2 with 4 coins, this one's going to be 3 coins, but it's also going to be negative. And you will deal more damage for every 1% missing HP on yourself with no cap on the amount, no cap. And you will also inflict 3 Rupture count and 1 Rupture and 1 Rupture to the target, right? So this skill will be quite a beast because your base power is also +1 for every skill that targets this unit. So it's going to be 19, 19, 19, and that is going to be quite beastly, right? Because your skill 1, skill 2 you're losing all the time, your counter you're getting hit all the time, so that means that your sanity will be like 0 when you use this skill pretty much. Unless you have syncing applied to you or someone else heals you, then you will have maybe positive coins or something along those lines. But this skill 3 is quite good for what he actually wants to do, right? He's going to be using skill 1, skill 2 guard a lot, and then eventually skill 3 just use it to cash out a little bit of damage, and then after that you can go ahead and die, because once you die, someone else can take your place, someone else who will enjoy the Rupture that you've spread around to all of the enemies. So yeah, very cool design character. I feel like he will actually find a place in future Rupture teams when we are able to just have a bunch of characters with the 15 Rupture and 3 Rupture count, right? So as you can see here, I already kind of slapped him in my party. I still have left it at level 1, haven't full tested the use of this character yet. But what I think the actual team comp looks like now is probably going to be Lantern, the 7 Faust, your Lantern Dawn, and then your Deviat Rodion, your Sank Assault. These 3 will be your core DPS, and then Rose Banner Gregor for the AEDD application, perhaps. Right, this one I'm not 100% sure yet. Because what happens, right, is that since these 2 DPSs only need 3 count and 15 potency, you actually don't need to have ADD Gregor unless you need to go even further beyond in terms of Rupture count, right? So I think that these 2 already good enough. If we can get one more character with 15 potency, 3 count, we can actually replace your Faust also, for example. So like, we can have a really cool team in the future for Rupture. Rupture is very slowly becoming even more amazing than it already was. Yeah. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, for now it's just going to be like this. You can always swap in like your 7 Heathcliff for more potency and a bit of extra Rupture count, or you can swap in your Ishmael, for example. I wish Ishmael had a retreat actually, because then after she dumps all her ammo, we retreat her, and then we bring in this Yi Sang to die, and then we can bring her back and she reloads if she's a full stop ID. I don't know. Like something like that could have been very cool. But for now, I think the team comp here is just pretty solid already. Don't need to think too much because Talisman is always here. Just go for green stuff, spread the love with the lantern, and then after that just hit anything with 15 potency and 3 count with these 2 characters over here. Alright, so that's pretty much what Yi Sang's goal is. Now we talk about Faust. Faust is the big buff for the Burn team. Burn team already got a huge buff with the magic bullet, and now she got another buff. Right? This character cannot die to burn damage, which is good because she's going to be burning herself a lot. It means that even if you are 1 HP, you can straight up stay on the field as long as you want, as long as you don't use your skill tree and you hit 30 burn. If you hit 30 burn with your skill tree, you will kill yourself. So you have to manage this character very well, and also win rate with this character is a bit risky. Just make sure you're looking at the right skill and make sure you have the right number before you actually activate the skill tree. Alright. So, Flame Moth, the passive. When you have lost 80% of your life, this is missing HP by the way, so when you lose 80% of your life, you will be able to get up to 30 burn. It's up to 30 burn. So it will make you go to 30, and when you die with that 30 on you, using your Corroded Ego, you will be able to spread that burn to multiple enemies. I think the ideal number they're looking for here is 6, because if you spread to 6, you will apply 5 burn to every single one of them in addition to that 3 burn over here. So you can use her as a suicide bomb to just apply a bunch of burn to multiple targets on the opponent team. And then the death over here, no matter what, you will always get the Ego resource, and you will get an additional 3 offense level up if you had 30 plus burn. Hey look, 30 burn. So yeah, that's how it kind of works here for this passive. And you always get offense level up for every 6 burn on yourself, up to a maximum of 5 offense level up at 30 burn also. There you go. Alright, so this character, very strong clashing power. What about her numbers? Pretty damn good. Skill 1 is going to be 11, skill 2 is going to be 16, and skill 3 is going to be a 4, 8, 12, 12, 17. But all of it has coin power, and the coin power is very easy to get. You just use ignition 1 time. You ignite yourself, you gain 7 burn, 2 burn, 2 burn. So total of 11 burn potency onto Faust. And then you also inflict 1 burn here, 1 burn here. If the enemy is at 10 burn, you inflict additional 3. So 5 burn potency to the opponent and 11 to yourself. 10 burn is perfect because it activates your next skill, which is going to be your skill 2. Your skill 2 gains coin power plus 1 for every 4 burn, so you just need 8 but you get 11 instead, and that will let you use your skill 2 with 2 coin power, 10% more damage. If you have 20, even better. And then this skill also gives you 4 burn count. It doesn't even increase your burn, which is good because that means that you don't have to blow yourself up immediately, because if you use ignition like maybe 3-4 times, you're gonna kill yourself really fast. But you only use it once, you lose 10 HP per turn. Your skill 2 can be used to maintain yourself. You can use skill 2 to inflict 1, inflict 1, inflict 3. On hit without cracking means that this coin here does not break, which is why this is very powerful, because 22 roll already very hard to go and lose this clash, I feel. So this is going to be 5 burn with the offense level, by the way. You're getting offense level for that burn on yourself. So this will give you a bunch of offense level, 22 coiner, and also give you this thing over here. So yeah, there's a lot of burn. There's a lot of good stuff over here. Very strong, powerful skill to have. It's not going to kill you, it's going to do very solid damage, it's going to do very solid stuff for the entire kit of this character. And then your skill 3. So the perfect number you're looking for here is 22, because at 22 you gain 7, you go to 29, and you don't kill yourself with the Corroded ABS max attunement. So skill 1, guess what? It gives you 11, right? So ignition, then skill 3 is perfect. It will give you 22 and then you gain 7, that will be 29, and then at 29 you activate this, you don't die, but you actually activate every single one of these effects over here, right? And if you want to go back down to 0 to reset all of this, you will have to evade 3 times, which for most of the cases is going to be too long to even bother. So the next time you use your skill 3 after the first time you use it, you are probably going to just prepare to explode yourself with the bottom version over here. Make sure you're losing some HP, make sure you have a lot of burn on yourself, which 29 will do it for you, and 29 will also let you get this 12.5% maximum. So yeah, you use this once, and then after that, the second time you draw the card, you're just going to blow yourself up already, because it's going to take too long to evade multiple times unless you solo with this character, which she can as well. So this part here, everyone knows this already. It's the funny move. You basically cannot die while using this skill, but after you use this skill, you will die, and you need to have a bunch of burn on yourself. You need to be missing a bunch of HP. Then you get an AoE attack that inflicts 8 burn, as well as have a bunch of scaling. And also once you die, you get to blow yourself up and apply a bunch of burn potency to the opponent. So you are applying quite a substantial amount of burn before you go and int over here, right? The defense skill, you need to use it and you need to evade with it as well to lose 10 burn per turn. So if you actually solo, right, this character is actually a monster. The reason being is that with multiple actions, you will be able to evade multiple times, you will be able to build up your skill 1 multiple times, and this evasion, it gets 3 coin power at 10 burn, which is super easy to hit, and that will give you a +3 +4 17 in total, right? You can dodge unbreakable coins, so you can't get chip damaged, and then you can just burn the enemies to death slowly, building it up like this. Like, it's so damn strong actually. This character is a beast for burn, and her application is not too bad because she has a 5 here, a 5 here, and a 6 over here, or an 8 over here. This 5 is conditional though, alright. So, character, monstrous character, definitely a must dispense for burn teams, and yeah, this character, there's not much else to say, it's just so damn good. Right, Thoracalgia Ryoshu is also really good, but also very easy to understand. You just need to get Pride Resonance. Pride Resonance gives you more coin and final power. When you kill people, you get additional crit damage stacks, which are in the form of Deep Breath. So when you have a bunch of Deep Breath, you'll be able to crit and do additional damage. Don't need to think too much about the calculation here, right? Then the passive, you use this ego, you gain Nebulizer. If you kill people, enemies, you get Nebulizer. If you kill allies, you get ally times 2 additional Nebulizer. So that will give you a bunch of extra Nebulizer stacks. And ideally, you want to have as much as possible because you want to feed everyone Nebulizer stacks. It gives you 3 poise and 3 poise count. That is insane. By the way, I double checked, and I'm pretty sure this actually means that you will always get 1 stack of this 3 poise and 3 poise count on Ryoshu every time you hit resonance. That's because apply to self and apply to allies are 2 separate lines here. The allies stack based on this thing over here, and the self is always guaranteed, which means that no matter which Ryoshu you are, you will be able to get this 3 poise and 3 poise count no matter what. So your W Ryoshu can crit eventually, right? You just need to keep proccing Nebulizer every single turn with Pride Resonance. This shit is actually crazy. So the way to do it is that if you want to kill an ally, use the Corroded Form. The Corroded Form, if you kill an ally, you will gain 3 Deep Breath next turn, and you also make it so that new substitutes will get additional poise and poise count, and you also recover SP used by this skill, this ego, and regain 1 of each ego resource consumed. And you also get 7 Deep Breath as well. This stacks up to 20, by the way. So yeah, this ego is very simple to understand. Just get resonance as much as possible, then you hit and kill as many things as possible, and when you kill a lot, you get a bunch of Nebulizer. You try to get 5 stacks, otherwise you don't really care about it. You just kind of keep hitting resonance no matter what, and you will just get a shit ton of poise, and your Ryoshu will just be like crit, and boom, that character is broken. Alright, there you go. This ego is also really good, and they straight up gave us 3 IDs and egos for 3 different statuses, and they're all amazing. Like, Burn is actually saved. I want to actually declare Burn to be saved because I haven't gotten her yet, by the way. I'm dispensing her. If you have her, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then your 6th slot is just probably Ryoshu, because with Ryoshu, you will be able to just use 4th Match Flame Ryoshu, right? Of course, you can use like Kapot and whatnot if you want, but these characters here, I think they're better on the bench. Liu Gregor, good potency application, but his low clashing is very shit, which is why I think that Faust is super good. Ardor Blossom Faust is going to be able to just replace his really shit clashes with good clashes, and is able to apply a significant amount of burn potency. So now we have burn potency here, and potency here, and then everyone else over here has a little bit of potency here and there, as well as a lot of count. Like someone has 2 count, 2 count, 2 count, 2 count, that's too much count already. Like that's more than enough count needed for the entire party. And then we have all of these other burn bonuses here to give you additional burn potency, additional burn count. So yeah, this burn team, I swear to you, it will work in any content outside of Mirror Dungeon. And Magic Bullet Otis is basically a requirement for it to work. If you don't have the wall PP characters, then you are going to have a bad time, I'm sorry to say. So yeah, Burn Team actually saved, in my opinion. Like, it will not be super fast, but it will be pretty fun. Like, you will watch things get Dark Flame, hit potency super high, and then boom, enemies explode. It's beautiful. Alright. So that's going to be the Burn team. And then for the Rupture team, I do believe that I already talked about it. So it's going to be your Yi Sang over here, then maybe your Faust here, and then after that, Lantern, Deviat, Talisman on the bench, Sank, Massault, and then AEDD Gregor for the Ego. But this might become less relevant once they add even more characters into the Rupture team, because right now, if you can get Gluttony Resonance of 4 and you trigger this onto Deviat, that's already enough for the 15 potency and 3 count characters to already have fun, because they don't eat Rupture count at that point. So once you hit that requirement here, which already can be done very easily, it basically is done already. Right? What Yi Sang does is that he has to spread even more out, which means that your other characters, like maybe 7 Heath comes in, he'll get to apply and help the other characters that are not at the 15 and 3 to hit the 15 and 3. And that means that Rose Gregor might not be too high of a requirement anymore once we get even more characters that enjoy the 15 and 3 or help to really speed up the 15 and 3. We need to just hit that 15 and 3 requirement so that these 2 characters here can get a lot of extra bonuses. I really hope that one day we can actually drop Talisman though, because there is a Deviat Sinclair that's just kind of sitting there this whole time, but he gets overshadowed by this guy who sits on the bench all day and makes Deviat Rodion do all the work. I mean, this is a little argument I have here, but I mean, it's fine. It works out basically. Rupture can be used and it's very, very solid. Right. So that's going to be the Rupture team. And then for the last one, well, once you get your Poise team, you can straight up just run whatever the hell you want. Right, because the Poise team, sorry, this is the wrong one. What's the Pride Poise team? Pride, is it this one? Pride Poise, basically. You can run like your Ahab, you can run your Queequex, you can run whatever. Just run with your Ryoshu, Thoracalgia. You can run with the Edgar, you can run with any of them, because all you need to do is just trigger Resonance, Pride Resonance. So just have a bunch of characters that enjoy Poise, feed them Nebulizer with the Ryoshu, or use the Ryoshu as the crit machine. Like, it's up to you really. It's just so damn good, and definitely something to consider if you want to do any big Ryoshu damage moments, or just to run a Poise team outside of the Mirror Dungeon, because you can stack your Poise absolutely crazy as long as you can get a few kills with the Thoracalgia and get Pride Resonance every single turn, which is super easy. The Nebulizer, by the way, it doesn't care what faction you're from, not like Blade Lineage Mentor, so you can just feed anyone you want. It just prioritizes people who have Poise and use Poise. Yeah. Alright, so that's going to be it, I think, for the final review for all of these. The Yi Sang one, that could use a little bit more experimentation, because as you can see here, this is the level 1 Yi Sang. That's because I don't know whether I want to level him up yet. We can't level down people, so once I level him too high, I will not be able to do shit like Thoracalgia, kill Yi Sang turn 1, get a bunch of ego resources turn 1, and then from there I just snowball out of control. Right? I want to try that first before I go and hard invest in him, so that is the one that I need a little bit more testing for. But the Burn team and the Poise team, that 100% is just straight up great improvement to those teams. Like, definitely must-haves. This Yi Sang is free anyway, so you just you keep him, you put him on the bench, and then you just leave him until someone figures out a crazy strat with him. Right? Okay, so I think that's going to be it. If I missed anything, feel free to let me know in the comments down below, and I shall see you guys next time. Bye bye.